Right, we are going to talk Aston Villa. It was nearly a week ago we saw those dramatic scenes as it took on the league leaders Arsenal at Villa Park. Emiliano Buendia off the bench scoring that dramatic winner in the 95th minute. The Arsenal players falling to the turf, banging the turf as well. But Merson, we're not going to talk about your old side Arsenal. We're going to talk about your old side Aston Villa. I love that quote from Matty Cash after that win at the weekend, responding to lots of talk, inevitably, about whether they're in the title race or not. He said, I think we have a bit of Christmas dinner before we think about that. So he's saying, just hold off at the moment. But at the moment, they're in the title race. But come Christmas dinner in a few weeks' time, if they're still there, if they're still just a few points behind Arsenal, do you see them being long-term title contenders?
I'd have to wait and see if they're still there in March. I think they've been absolutely unbelievable. I think outstanding what the manager's done. He's top manager, makes players better players. I just think if push comes to shove...
I mean, that's an extraordinary run. I mean, goodness me.
And you've got to remember where it started from. They had a terrible start to the season, so they were on a little bit of a losing streak.
Well, they were second from bottom.
Second bottom, couldn't win a game. So to go and do what they've done, and to do what Ollie Watkins hasn't really got going.
And then that's in September the 28th. I mean, the turnaround is extraordinary.
Yeah, phenomenal. But I just think the manager would want to get into win the Europa. Win the Europa Conference, win the Europa League. Sorry, not the conference, the league. I just think 30 years.
1996, isn't it?
1996. You know, it'd be 30 years next year they haven't won a trophy. Them fans, massive football club, Aston Villa, fortunate enough to play there, brilliant club. They'd rather win a trophy, surely, than finish third or fourth. I don't see them winning the league. I don't. It's a grind. It's a grind over that many games. And their squad's not massive. It's not massive. And a lot of players are playing to the absolute, the best of their ability. They haven't had a lot of injuries recently.
Yeah, your favourite, the Opta computers, not having them one bit, 5.6% at the moment. But
They'll settle for that, though.
Yeah.
So they come third and won the Europa.
Top four in a trophy.
I mean, he's getting manager. Well, he wouldn't, because Arteta would get it because he won the league. But if he didn't, you'd have to give him it. I mean, absolutely amazing.
Wow.
And Chelsea's I don't love that.
Chelsea's
below Liverpool.
2.4.
Don't get too caught up in the Opta supercomputer. No. Clinton, I mean, look at what they've got at the moment. 30 points, only one since their last title back in 80-81. Have they more points at this stage of a season? 32 they had in 23-24, so they're absolutely flying at the moment. But do you concur with what Merson is saying? The priority this season is to end that long wait for a trophy.
Yeah, definitely, and try and finish in the top four. And they've got a great chance of finishing to the top four. I'd echo everything Merson says. Ask me again in March, and if they stay there or thereabouts, they're definitely in the title race. But I think even the manager came out after the Arsenal game and said, we're not in the title race. As I said, with the squad of players and them having to play the Europa League Thursday, Sunday, and unless he gets massive help in January, but I can't see them getting massive help in January. But I think the job Unai Emery's done with that squad of players been fantastic. Ollie Watkins has got his 2 goals against Brighton. If he can carry on scoring goals, I think it lifts them. I do think he probably needs competition for his place up front, but I think that he's done a fantastic job. And midfield, they're flying at the moment. The likes of Tielemans, Kamara, Onana comes in there, John McGinn. They've got players.
Rodgers, I mean, that midfield.
Yeah,
in terms of Premier League midfields right now, where do you put them?
They're up there. They're definitely in the top 3 for sure. But he keeps rotating them. So he's got not a settled one. But I think Tielemans he's a top player. I think he's scored a big goal in midweek and he's been outstanding. But yeah, to even talk about Villa in the equation at the moment, it's a testament to the job Unai Emery's doing at the moment.
But we have to. Go on,
you've got to remember, this time, next week, last year, Chelsea were going to Everton, second in the league, go top of the league.
Maresca
played it out. Yeah. They know, these managers know, they see enough in training, they've been around, well, especially Emery's been around a lot longer than Maresca, but Maresca knows, he's been with the players, he knows. And he said, we're not in it. Chelsea were having a shootout on the last day of the season against Everton to get in the Champions League. He would take, if someone said to him now, you could finish 4th in this league, he would chop your arm off.
And win the Europa League.
Not even win the Europa League. If he finished top 4, amazing. You've got to remember Liverpool, Chelsea, all them teams that get going.
But Tim, this club, they yearn a trophy as well. Top 4's massive. You get those big European nights back at Villa Park. But 30 years, I mean, 1996, the League Cup, the last time they got their hands on silverware. That needs to be the main fruit of this season, isn't it?
Yeah, well, they would have seen Tottenham last season do it. They would have seen Newcastle last season do it. You know, and now it's their turn. I really hope they do it. I think it's a magnificent club, like Mercer said, and the fans get behind the team. You know, I think they come there at Villa Park and they expect, and I think you need to be a brave player to go and get on the ball, especially when you haven't scored goals after 4 games or what I think it was, or maybe even 6. So they come through that period, and I think they come through that period stronger. They were doing it largely without Ollie Watkins as well, because he was like injuries or a loss of form. But Marlon come in, Buendia has come in and done well again. He's got a second wind. I think they've got one of the best goalkeepers in Martinez in the division. They got the base there. Konsa's very important for them, but I think they need help. They need strength in depth. I'm not sure if they've got the finances or are allowed to do it in January, but if they do, you'd have to give them a chance. I think the boys are absolutely right. It's so competitive at the top end of the Premier League. It's easier, in my opinion, for them to win and qualify for the Champions League next year by winning the Europa League. He's won it 4 times. I think he can win it the 5th time. They're favourites to go on and win it. I think if they keep their players fit, I think once he comes to the latter stages of the Europa League, he'll start resting players in the Premier League to keep his players fit for that competition. I think it's going to be a very good season for him, because one reason, they've got very good players, but they've got a top draw manager.
63 Premier League wins is the most of any Aston Villa manager.
I echo everything that the guys have said. Aston Villa never scored a goal in the first 4 Premier League games, and we're all talking about, is there a crisis? They still had a good manager in charge, and they kept calm. They didn't change drastically. The players were always going to come back. But, I mean, to win 9 Premier League games out of 10 is quite remarkable. But I don't see them being able to win the Premier League. I really, really don't. With Europa League, the squad depth, not having the funds to sign players in January, whereas last year they were looking, going, we have to put all our eggs in the basket. Can we make the Champions League? And they came up short. But I think the job is doing. Villa, we'll be saying in 4 or 5 games, look, they go West Ham, Man United, Chelsea and Arsenal. And this time this time last week you were saying they could have been 6 points behind. Now they're 3 points behind Arsenal because of what they did last week. So in 4 more games we might be saying, yeah, they're right in the mix. Only time would tell. We saw Bournemouth was sitting second. Yeah. 2 weeks ago today, tomorrow they played great against Arsenal. They're in the mix. Yeah. They have a bad week. It can soon turn around, but what Villa are doing, fantastic. Top manager, top players.
What Cashy's thinking is it's not Christmas dinner he's got to worry about, it's Easter eggs.
Yeah. But do you know what? Knowing Cashy coming out with that, what a character.
Great line.
Great line, great lad. And he's another player that's done fantastic for Aston Villa. Some important goals he's coming up.
And also reflecting exactly what his manager was saying after the game, which was playing down those title expectations. And Merson, I just want to finish off the talk we were having on Emiliano Buendia. He appears to be at the moment that kind of big moments player, often coming off the bench. He's got that high work rate. He's technically very, very good. I guess the question is, can he have a consistent run in the side, or will he always be that option from the bench to come on and impact games?
It's a nice one to have. I thought when he come from Norwich, I thought, I like this lad. He's going to play at Villa, big pitch at Villa Park. The way he plays, he can see a pass. He's a good footballer. And then he fell behind the 8 ball, got injured. He's got fit now. He's playing with a load of confidence. I think that's the thing. This is what you need. You need players. If you want to be successful like Emery is at the moment and Villa, you need people coming off the bench making a difference. You need that. You know, even in Europe last week, bringing people on, you know, that Morgan Rogers is coming on, and Anna's coming off. People, you know, they've got good squad players now, but they need them to keep on playing well. But this kid's a good player. I mean, if he keeps on playing like this, he's got a chance of Argentina. Getting in a World Cup squad, and that's what he'll be looking at. He was a special player when he was at Norwich, and he's just starting to feel that, and all the Villa fans are starting to see what a proper player he is.
Yeah, 28 years of age, and no doubt Argentina will be looking at that dramatic goal he scored in the 95th minute last week. Clinton, the Harvey Elliott situation, I mean, you have to feel for the player a little bit. He's gone on loan there. It's quite clear he's not going to make any appearance with Villa. He's had 1 Premier League start. I think that came against Fulham. Where now does this leave his future for the rest of the season?
This is where I ask you, who signs the players? Because at the end of the day, if after 1 game you're judging Harvey Elliott and Unai Emery says you don't fit into what I want, then obviously I'm looking at Unai Emery and saying, did you bring the lad in, Harvey Elliott? Because you would know what he's like. You've seen him play a lot of times at Liverpool, and you would know what kind of character.
I think Emoji signing, and he's now gone, of course.
That says it all, basically. But listen, it's disappointing for Harvey Elliott. I think he had a brilliant tournament for the England under-21s.
Brilliant.
He got player of the tournament. He was outstanding. He's probably full of confidence. I need to go and play regular at Aston Villa. And at the moment, he hasn't been given the opportunity. The thing is, the reason he's probably not given the opportunity, where he wants to play, Buendia is there, and they're stacked in that position, and all those players are kind of playing well at the moment, and he's not really going to play in any of the wide position because you've got Rodgers and McGinn. And he even got Sancho that can come off the bench and Gesson. So he's got a lot of options. And it's disappointing for Harvey Elliott. What he's going to have to probably do is go back in January to Liverpool. He can't go on loan to another club because he's played for 2 clubs already during the season. So now he's just going to have to try and fight his way to get into that Liverpool team. Liverpool ain't been the greatest at the moment, so it'd be probably like a new signing.
He
having
needs
Harvey
Mo Salah
Elliott
to leave, doesn't he?
well, he'll get more chance, won't he, if Mo Salah leaves? Watch this space, Tim?
Hey, we shall see.